First topic, let's get right into it. Super Bowl is being played this weekend, and on Pro Football Talk, the Bengals wide receiver coach says Jamar Chase will never become a diva. Just not in him. He works hard. He's even keel, not too high, not too low. I don't see this guy ever becoming a diva. And us wide receivers, I am a former wide receiver myself. We've been marked with that tag, man. We are divas. And I can understand why people think that we are divas. But I had to go through the all-time greats. I'm like, well, let's see how many of us are actually divas. Obviously, it's a small sample. There's so many receivers that have been in and out the league. But why are these guys divas? You know, before we do that, let's talk about Jamar Chase a little bit more. This year, this guy had an incredible season, 81 receptions, 1,455 yards, 13 touchdowns, a long of 82. Has all the reason in the world to become a diva. He's in the league with his boy Joe Burrow. They're in a Super Bowl. All they've done is win. They have success after success after success. It's lined up for this young man to become a diva. But I'm encouraged that his wide receiver coach says, look, it's never going to happen. Jamar is not that type of dude. So I had to go through history and look up, like I said, a small sample size of receivers, great receivers, and see which ones were actually divas. So let's go through the list of the non-divas to start. These are guys to where I see them play. I saw their names. They got numbers. They're ballers. No diva in them. Start off with Jerry Rice, all-time great. No diva in him. Maybe there was internally, but from my perception, outside looking in, this guy looked like a class act, worked his butt off, celebrated with his teammates, didn't ruffle too many feathers. Tim Brown, all-time great. Larry Fitzgerald, probably the most humble athlete of all time. Calvin Johnson, Megatron. We all know he had every right in the world to be a diva. Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, and Andre Johnson, Hines Ward, and Anquan Bolden. Those are just a few. Just a few. All those guys I just named were the type of guys that would hand the football to the refs, that would celebrate with their teammates, get to the sidelines. They could be frustrated at times. You're not really going to see it. They're not going to go to the media about their problems. These are the type of dudes who are all-time greats who are not divas. So you can't call all of us divas. You just can't do it, okay? Now to the juicy part, the guys who were divas. Terrell Owens. I mean, he was my introduction to wide receivers being divas, doing crutches in his driveway, complaining on the sideline, throwing fits, going to the media with all his drama. T.O., a great player, one of my favorite receivers growing up, definitely a diva. Antonio Brown, enough said. We all know what's been going down these last 4 to 5 years. Antonio Brown is definitely a diva, has some things going on. Chad Johnson, he was a diva, but he was a fun diva. I mean, minus the off-the-field stuff, like he would talk that trash, he would complain, but he was fun to watch. Fun diva, I would say. Michael Irvin, now he was on the list that I saw, and they categorized him as a diva. I just saw Michael Irvin as an ultimate competitor, a guy who talked trash, who went out and partied late at night, but he woke up early, showed up on time, did his thing, had a big personality. He's killing it on radio and TV right now. Is that a diva because he's loud? Maybe, I don't know. I guess some people think so because he was on that list. Randy Moss, this one confused me. Was Randy Moss really a diva, or was he a guy who just liked to win, and when he did something, he let you know about it? When I think of Randy Moss, any type of diva that pops into my mind, it's not even a diva moment. I just think of him against the Green Bay Packers, fake mooning the crowd on Monday Night Football. I mean, if that's a diva, then all right, I guess. I never really see him not get along with his teammates. I don't remember him going to the media with drama, but for some reason, he was on that list. Keyshawn Johnson, for sure a diva. Oh, yeah, that dude's on the sideline causing havoc. Again, got love for Keyshawn, man, killing it on the radio and on TV, but he was definitely a diva. You got Odell Beckham, who is probably or was the diva of all divas. Seems like he's changed his tone a bit now that he's with the LA Rams. He's getting older. He sees the mission. He's focused, but he is responsible for the new age divas. All you kids who are in high school now or the past few years, Odell Beckham should be held accountable for your divaism. Okay, Plaxico Burress. I don't know if you young guys remember him. He was a diva, shot himself in the leg in a club when he was with New York, went to jail for a little bit, but he had some diva in him. And then Dez Bryant has some diva as well. Is a diva or a guy who likes to compete. All right, so now let's break it down. I name all these guys. What makes them a diva? They're loud, they show emotion, they celebrate, and they cause drama within teammates. Now, one thing I should point out about the wide receiver position, we are the most marketable position in the league other than the quarterback. Yes, we are. No tight ends. Running backs are fine. No linemen, no linebackers, no DBs. It's the quarterback and it's the receiver. And why is it that way? It's because we make the biggest plays. We make the biggest plays. And our position is so contingent, excuse me, on other people doing their jobs. Center has to snap it to the quarterback. Quarterback has to read the defense, then find me and make the throw. There's no other position on the football field to where your success is so contingent on everyone else on your team doing their job. So when you finally make a play, you want to be known. You're going to get hype. Not my cup of tea. That's not my style. You know, I was the kind of guy who handed the football to the ref and kept it pushing. But I understand why these guys get hype. I understand it. Now, superstar in a game gets 8 to 10 targets. In an NFL football game, you're running about 65 to 75 plays. You get 8 to 10 targets, you're running about 30 routes during that day, though. 30 to 35 routes easily. And that's on a team that passes the ball maybe half the time. You play for the Chiefs, oh, yeah, you're running about 40 to 50 routes a game, and you're not getting the football. So when you do get the football or you don't get the football, either you're elated or you're frustrated. You're frustrated because you're talking to your QB. You're like, look, I am cooking this dude over here. He cannot handle me. Get me the rock. I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm wide open, and you don't get it. Maybe it's a check down. Maybe he throws it to another guy. Again, your success is contingent on everything else going the right way. Do I agree with receivers causing all this drama within the team, the quarterbacks, and the media? No, I don't. That wasn't my style, at least. But the guys who have done that, I just named some greats who took that approach, and they have had some success. They have. And they're just frustrated. They want the ball. You want your receivers to want the ball. All right, there's different ways to be successful. Some guys at the receiver position have chosen to be divas. Some guys are just showing up to work and they do their thing. Either way it goes, if you put up the numbers, teams will deal with you being a diva. It's when you stop putting up the numbers. It's when you stop having 100 receptions in a season, Antonio Brown, where people stop putting up with your divaness. So yes, that is why receivers are divas. Call it what you want, but you know what? You need a big time receiver. And if he is making plays for you, if he's leading you to the promised land, you will deal with him being a diva. I don't condone it, but I understand it. Next topic.